Zackattack gonna farm up, look to catch Kyogre in the middle of the waterfall animation, Primal Kyogre. You might think you're thick, but are you thick enough? Wild Charge removes the bulky whale from the field of play. Back out comes Zacian. We've got that second Wild Charge locked and loaded, and that is gonna be all she wrote. Welcome back to the channel. Today we have an absolute banger of a battle submission from Zackattack, featuring some battles in the Mega Master League. It's kind of an ongoing joke that every time I receive Shadow Raikou battles, I'm crying as it's one of the very few Shadow Pokemon I do not have. This Shadow Raikou in particular is certainly one I'm jealous of, as it is a perfect, fully maxed out 100% IV Shadow variant. Of course, Raikou got a huge buff this season, gaining access to the very good charge move of Aura Spear, which of course has the same stats as Hydro Cannon. Why have one Aura Spear user when you can have two? Its deadly team partner today is going to be Latios. I've got work in literally an hour, so let's keep the intro short and sweet, and without any further ado, let's get into the battles. And in game one, we see Shadow Raikou into Dawnwing's Necrozma. Moongeist's Beam, of course, would be the absolute delete button for us, but likewise, a Wild Charge should have no problem vanquishing this Pokemon back to its Pokeball. The opponent foe with the Dark Pulse bait. Raikou withstands the damage, farms up to the double Wild Charges. The first one forces the Protect Shield. Raikou is doubled up, and Zackattack looks to throw back to back. The opponent already on one Protect Shield, petrified of Raikou's damage output. Instantly give up both Protect Shields, clearing the path for our double Dragon back line to do the heavy lifting in battle number one. Palkia enters the arena, once again gets baited with the Dark Pulse, but Zackattack undeterred, going to overfarm, fire off the Spatial Rend, which will be removing Necrozma from the field of play. Down goes Necrozma. The opponent sends out Dialga. Zackattack races to the next Spatial Rend, which only hits for neutral, but still going to land the heavy neutral damage at that. We see a quick switch into Mega Latios as Latios looks to farm down, hoping to Luster Purge whatever the third is to the face and get us off to a very quick 1-0 start. Speaking of which, out comes Primal Groudon. Groudon, you sir might think you're thick, but are you thick enough? Luster Purge, almost a one-hit KO, leaving the opponent deep into the red health range. The opponent gonna fire off the Precipice Blades. Precipice Blades removes us from the field of play. Palkia re-enters the arena. Dragon Breath farms down Dialga insanely low and very quickly found himself in a range where a double resisted Aqua Tail is gonna be all she wrote. GG's to that opponent. Heading into the next battle, we lead Shadow Raikou into the Kentucky Fried Chicken Bird of Death Master League Edition, aka Ho-Oh. A fantastic lead for us. The Thunder Shocks are hitting for super effective, and we have a heavy pace and advantage in this matchup. Zack gonna strike first, and there is no baiting. Does the opponent respect the damage? Raikou's thrown 3 charge moves to the last point of the video, and every single one's been shielded. Undeterred, Zack invests the Protect Shield, banks the Wild Charge. Then we see the pivot into Mega Latios. The opponent sends out Tapu Bulu. Tapu Bulu should have a typing advantage here, but they're down 1 Protect Shield, and we race to that Luster Purge. Luster Purge sneaks through the Protect Shield. Tapu Bulu straight in and straight out. Out comes Mega Gyarados, which certainly is not going to appreciate this incoming Aura Spear. Aura Spear, despite not getting same type attack bonus, nearly a one-hit KO. The opponent overfarm, play to the CMP tie. They do not win and very quickly find himself all shields down. This game is completely over. Potentially, Palkia isn't even going to be needed. We see the pivot back into Raikou. Raikou going to be investing in that Protect Shield. The opponent likely go for the combo play here. Zack smells that play a mile off. Ho-Oh re-enters the arena, loses charge attack priority. Wild Charge vanquishes Ho-Oh back to its Pokeball. We Thundershot farm down Gyarados, and Palkia gets a well-deserved rest on the bench. GG's, and thanks for playing. Heading into the next battle, Shadow Raikou stares down Zacian. A very nice lead for us, as the Glassy Raikou is taking very minimal fast move pressure. You can see Zack wanting to farm up a boatload of energy before potentially debuffing his own defense. Zack recognising that one Wild Charge won't be lethal, opts to fire off the Aura Spear. Once again, that is bounced off the Protect Shield. The opponent returns fire with the Behemoth Blade. That would have been resisted, but trust me, it probably wouldn't have looked like it. Zack fires off yet another Aura Spear, and despite not getting same type attack bonus, it looks like it would have cleanly two-shot in that matchup. We then see the pivot into Latios. Latios shields up the next Behemoth Blade, and out comes Mega Gyarados. This is somewhat of a questionable counter swap. The opponent behind on energy. We fire off the first Aura Spear, forcing the opponent's final Protect Shield. Mega Latios able to outpace to the second Aura Spear, and this is going to land for massive damage. Gyarados hangs on, but not by much, as it finds itself deep in the red health range. Crunch moves Latios from the field of play. We send out Palkia. Palkia looks for the Dragon Breath farm down, but unable to get it. Oof, it's just a double resisted Aqua Tail. The opponent unable to reach a crunch, and Palkia gets a very nice energy lead. The opponent sends out Zacian, attempt to Aqua Tail catch onto Palkia. Zac like, nah, trainer. Hi Palkia, bye Palkia, Spatial Rend. A couple of further Dragon Breaths, pick up the knockout, back out. Comes Zacian, and Raikou will be claiming his victim as we give him the wham, bam, combo play, fire off the Wild Charge, and take that game. Heading into the next battle. Absolute sacrilege. Purified Ho-Oh in the lead position. The opponent says no thank you, save switch into BDD. Most you call it Best Buddy Dialga. I call it Basic Bitch Dialga. Zac fires off the Aura Spear. Massive super effective damage before pivoting out into Latios. Latios will be going for the one shield. Looking for the Dragon Breath farm down. This is definitely a scenario where the Dragon Breath only being neutral is advantageous for us, meaning we get even more energy together. Back out comes this pesky Purified Ho-Oh, and Zac looks to leave a solid dent in it. Full send of the Luster Purge, sneaking it through 2 Protect Shields. The opponent then pivots out into Mega Gyarados, and we have so much energy. Latios still not done. Fires off the Aura Spear. The first Aura Spear forces the opponent's first Protect Shield. Latios, so incredibly spammy, fires off yet another Aura Spear, very quickly forcing the opponent all shields down. Quick switch into Raikou. Raikou races to the Wild Charge. Mega Gyarados completely overwhelmed. Wild Charge picks up the one-hit KO. Ho-Oh re-enters the arena. Looks like the opponent has completely given up, thinking, what the heck's happened here? And we see yet another battle where Palkia doesn't even see the battlefield. GG's. My god, the pairing of Shadow Raikou plus Mega Latios looks incredible. Heading into the next battle, we see Florges in the lead position. The opponent looking to farm up to what could be a Moonblast. Zac like, I smell the chilling water bait, enjoy yourself. The opponent actually full send the Moonblast, and ouch, that hurt. Raikou undeterred, hangs on, returns fire with the Wild Charge. Wild Charge likewise, massive damage. Zac is doubled up and looks to remove Florges from the field of play. Wild Charge does pick up the knockout, and you can see we are spamming the switch, looking to pivot out into our safe switch of Mega Latios, seeing what the opponent wants to do. Out comes Metagross. If this battle took place in Season 23 or prior to that, this would be an awful matchup as it would be fully wall. But this season, gaining access to Aura Spear gives us the ability to hit back in this matchup for heavy neutral damage. We invest in protection with Overfarm, fire off the Aura Spear instantly puts the opponent into the red health range as Zac heavily overfarms before unleashing the next Aura Spear. Aura Spear goes unshielded, the opponent looking to save 2 shields for Mega Gyarados, but Mega Gyarados instantly put under threat by the next Aura Spear. This pacing of just 10 turns is absolutely ridiculous. Mega Gyarados looking to pull off the 1v3. We see the switch into Palkia. Palkia looks to operate as the damage sponge. The opponent fire off the Crunch plus some Dragon Breaths leave us into the red health range, but Palkia still not done. Fires off the Spatial Rend. Spatial Rend gets no respect. The opponent thinking Aura Spear would do more, which is correct. However, as they didn't shield, they very quickly find themselves in a range where we are going to be able to fast move beat them down. Latios re-enters the arena. The opponent go for the Aqua Tail bait. Aqua Tail bounce off the Protect Shield. We Thundershock farm down and take that game. Heading into the next battle, we lead Shadow Raikou into Palkia. One of the few water types we probably don't fancy our chances in, as we do actually get outpaced in this matchup. Zac safe switches into Mega Latios, baiting out a tap Charm Primarina. I love it. Zac not going to bait. Going to full send the Luster Purge, guaranteeing a pretty much one-hit KO or a Protect Shield. The opponent invests that Protect Shield. Recognise we're going to reach another Luster Purge and look to throw their energy. Zac happy to invest the Protect Shield on the low health Latios. Take back switch or force the opponent all shields down. Decision time for the opponent. They opt to 2-shield their Charmer. Who would have thought someone running a nonsense tap Charmer and more than happy to just shield absolutely everything. Zac sends back out Raikou. Raikou is going to get outpaced, and to be honest, tanked that Hydro Cannon reasonably well. Zac overfarms, fires off the Wild Charge, and I have no doubt Wild Charge is going to be the end of Primarina's reign. Down goes Primarina, we reset their debuff and enter the mirror. We are down on energy, but Zac has that shield advantage, and we are going to be investing it here. The opponent falls in the Spatial Rend before sending out Koga in a very interesting triple water strategy. Palkia this time, looking to put the team on its back. Come on Palkia, buddy, you've had so much time on the bench, you need to close the show. The opponent doesn't commit to the Thunder, and I think this gives us a very easy win con. The Surf is double resisted. Zac looking to farm up to the double Spatial Rend. We are now doubled up, you know the drill. The first Spatial Rend will be moving Kyogre from the field of play. Palkia going to re-enter the arena, but very quickly going to be straight in and straight out. And perfect energy management enables Zac to emerge victorious. GG's. Heading into the next battle. We see Zacian in the lead position. The last opponent had to stay in, as most of these Zacians compared with a Mega Gyarados that, of course, also isn't going to fancy the work. What I really like about today's team composition is Raikou is stripping shields, left, right and centre in the lead position, open up the door for Mega Latios to start nuking the back line. Once again, we're able to force ourselves an early shield advantage. We match protect shields and this opponent actually full sends the close combat. Zac pauses a turn, sees Zacians still on the screen, fires off the next wild charge and very quickly forces the opponent all shields down. Zac happy to go all in on Raikou, and I think we're about to see something get boomed. The opponent pivots out into Ho-Oh. Holy cow, that is not something that wants to catch a wild charge. We bank the energy and send out Palkia. I like the banking of the energy. I think Zac's making the same team read as me. I think the third is going to be Mega Gyarados. I'm guessing as we banked all the energy, Zac has the same idea. Palkia tanks the Brave Bird, fires off the Aqua Tail, removes Ho-Oh from the field of play. It is a water type, unfortunately, not Mega Gyarados, but Kyogre still works for us. We land the Spatial Rend. Zac farms up, gives the opponent that wham, bam, combo play, fires off the wild charge in the middle of the waterfall animation. We banked a boatload of energy, we're doubled up, and Raikou is going to claim back-to-back victims. GG's, and thanks for playing. That was absolutely beautiful. On a list of things you love to see, Raikou nuking the backline is certainly up there. In the next battle, oh hello Primal Kyogre, nice to see you nice. The opponent opting to stay in, so potentially completely core broken. Zac farms up, goes to Aura Spear bait, force the protection, will then farm up, save Raikou, bank the energy and make the Surf Catch onto Mega Latios where it isn't going to do much of anything. Our Mega Latios save switch is answered by Zacian. Despite us being a dragon and them being a fairy type, this isn't actually the worst matchup, due to gaining access to Aura Spear, which you can see easily 2 shots in this matchup. They're both fairy and steel, to be honest, 2 typings that usually have good play into dragons, but Mega Latios gaining access to Aura Spear this season just make it an absolute menace. That coverage is beautiful. We land the next Aura Spear, the opponent reluctant to shield, send out Primarina, and my, we are going to full send the Luster Purge, bang, there it is, almost a one-hit KO, the opponent saves Primarina on fractional HP, snipe with Kyogre, we send back out Raikou, full send the wild charge forces the opponent's final protect shield, we send out Palkia, the opponent doesn't want the smoke, and we take that game. When I edited these battles up, I was thinking, how is 10 battles all of about 15 minutes long? And I very quickly found out the answer to that is because this team just nukes everything. In the next battle, we see the Kentucky Fried Chicken Bird of Death in the lead position. Zac goes for a cheeky Master Bet in session, killing a poor defenseless cat, but able to strip the first Protect Shield of the game. Raikou with a heavy pace and advantage, more than happy to invest the Protect Shield, 2 Thunder Shocks and the Wild Charge for optimal fast move time with 2 choices, get 1 shot or give us the final Protect Shield. The opponent opts to invest the final Protect Shield and we see the pivot into Latios, so we look to start loading up on energy. The opponent fire off the Brave Bird and we find ourselves in a shieldless game. Out comes Zacian. Zac farms up to the double Aura Spear. We've already seen the Aura Spear does around 50%. The first one rocks the opponent down to around the half health. Is this next one lethal? I think we might need a couple of Dragon Breaths. The opponent able to survive on fractional HP, but this just sets up the opportunity for either Pokemon to farm down afterwards. Ooh, Play Rough, the opponent getting another big boom action. I'm surprised Zacian didn't opt for Play Rough in this Mega Master League meta. The opponent not wish to concede farm, send out Ho-Oh, we bank the Wild Charge, pivot into Palkia, able to race to the Aqua Tail, winning charge attack priority, denying the energy and picking up the knockout. Out comes Primal Kyogre. Kyogre waterfalling away, but not doing much of anything as these are double resisted. Zac looking to farm up a boatload of energy, but ends up playing to the CMP tie. He does not win. Thunder rocks us into the red health range, but Palkia holds strong, fires off the Spatial Rend, monstrous damage. The opponent then pivots out into Zacian, but this game is over. Aqua Tail will be removing Zacian from the field of play. Right on cue, there's the combo play, serving up another Big Mac and fries the opponent didn't order, and we take that game. Heading into the next battle, we lead Raikou into a purified shiny Ho-Oh. Makes me feel a little bit sick if I'm honest. The opponent says no thank you, save switch into Palkia, and here comes Mega Latios. Tough decision to make. Is it the Aqua Tail bait or is it the Spatial Rend? We thought about calling it last second, invested Protect Shield, and good job we did as the opponent had no intention of baiting a full sending that Spatial Rend. We overfarm, fire off the Aura Spear, forces the opponent's first Protect Shield. Zack happy to 2-shield here and look for the Dragon Breath farm down afterwards. Zack able to get it and leaves with so much energy but minimal HP. Out comes Mega Gyarados. We look to fire off the Aura Spear. The opponent makes a savage catch, looking to get themselves back in the game, but they are completely core broken. We send out Palkia. Palkia can look to tank the Brave Bird, force the opponent to debuff their own defense, meaning Aqua Tail will be lethal. The opponent does exactly that. Zack takes the opportunity to farm up a boatload of energy, fires off the Aqua Tail. Aqua Tail will be moving them from the field of play. We've got the Spatial Rem banked as well. Back out comes Mega Gyarados. Trainer, where do you invest that final Protect Shield? Spatial Rend goes unshielded. The opponent able to Dragon Breath farm down. Raikou at full health. And we got a move bank too. Raikou enters the arena. Unless someone like Hydro Pump or Outrage, any one move will be survivable. Crunch simply does not get the job done. Raikou absorbs the damage. Taps that Wild Charge. Wild Charge forces the Protect Shield. There's still time for one final wham, bam, combo play. Aura Spear picks up the knockout. And it's going to be Shadow Pokemon 1, Purified Shiny Pokemon 0. GG's and thanks for playing. And much to my disappointment, that is just about going to wrap things up for today's shoutcast. Somewhat of a shorter video, but I'm quite time restricted, as believe it or not, I'm on yet another night shift that I really need to get my ass ready for. A huge thank you to Zackattack. It's the first time we've featured him on the channel, but he's actually a trainer I recognise. He's often found on the leaderboard, and you can see today his energy management was near perfect and made for some highly entertaining gameplay, and the combination of Raikou plus Mega Latios was absolutely incredible. Today is league rotation day, meaning we're going to have all 3 leagues available. As you can see by the screenshot on my screen, I caught a decent Altaria, and I've actually got one for Ultra League. I think the first Pokemon we're going to take a look at is Altaria in the Great League. But if you want to see my Ultra League Altaria, post it down below and I'll look to put a video together. So if you're enjoying the content, smash that like button. If you're new, consider subscribing if you like your battles featured on my channel. A link to my battle submission form is down below. And as always, a huge thanks for watching and I'll see you all in the next one.